At this point, this law in Texas is by far the most restrictive abortion law on the books anywhere in the nation. It essentially says that once a fetal heartbeat can be detected, that an abortion cannot take place. That's usually around 6 weeks. The reason why the Texas law is in place when all of these other laws have been shot down is because of this enforcement mechanism. Usually when a state passes restrictions on abortion, those restrictions are enforced by state officials. What Texas did was very unusual. It said, all right, the state is not going to play a role in enforcing this law, and instead what we're going to do is we're going to allow private citizens to sue abortion providers and also any entity or person that helps a woman get an abortion. Think about the Uber driver, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? Anybody who is involved in helping this happen would potentially be liable to a private lawsuit, and the penalties start at $10,000. What that's done is it's sort of put a freeze on abortions, which is why they're not happening after 6 weeks in Texas right now. The Supreme Court basically said, look, we got some concerns about this Texas law, but we can't stop it because no private party had brought a lawsuit yet. Courts don't stop laws. They stop people from enforcing laws. So that's what happened in early September, and the law went into effect. And what has since happened is that the Justice Department now has a new lawsuit. It has the ability to get around some of these procedural questions about who can be sued because it can sue Texas directly, and that's what it did. There have already been some conservative state lawmakers who have said that they are going to look to pass a similar law. I think these states will wait to see what the Supreme Court ultimately does with this enforcement issue. The problem that conservatives might have is that progressives can do this too. And there has already been talk about, well, we can't pass a law that violates the Second Amendment, but what if we passed a law that said people who support gun restrictions can launch private lawsuits against people with certain types of handguns? I think that there is a broad understanding that this opens the door to some potential problems for both sides.